Brad,
What's up, Daniel?
good morning, man.
Good morning to you.
Welcome to Conversations with the Average Dude.
I love it. I love it.
What do you think of my new format? Just talking like we're talking on the phone or something like that.
I think it's awesome. In fact, it's a format that I've followed on my podcast since the beginning. I don't edit. I don't pre-script questions. I do have one question that I ask everybody at the end of every podcast, but they don't know it's coming. I just drop it on them.
Yeah,
Uh, so that's the only thing I do consistently. But yeah, man, I love it. I watched the first episode you had in the new format with, I believe it was Caitlin.
yeah,
Uh, she was great. And then, man, I'm going to tell you, I even text you personally.
yeah.
I love the episode with your grandmother. What a sweet lady. And there's nothing better than stories from old people, right? I mean, it's just great. It's just great.
Yeah,
It reminded me of going and visiting my grandparents and having them tell stories about the old days. I mean, 11. She's comes from a family of 11 brothers and sisters. I was blown away by that.
yeah.
And talking about sitting out on the front porch and learning to play that violin, that fiddle. I mean, it's great. It's great. I love it.
Hey, and we forget sometimes that older people have so much experience, and we depend on our peers, some people in our age range, to give us all this wisdom. But man, a lot of knowledge in somebody that's 93 years old.
Boy, there sure is a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you like about doing podcasts, Brad?
It's a way. It's just another platform.
Mhm.
I'm kind of the PT Barnum, if you will, and his
Yeah,
his philosophy was be bigger, be better, and be everywhere. And
yeah,
so, a podcast is just another platform to get people out there, to let a voice be heard. I do it very similar to you. I record mine on Zooms. I
hmm,
drop the audio files. I know a lot of people listen to the audio, but I record them too on Zoom, and then I upload them to YouTube. Why not?
yeah,
And I don't ever edit it. I just let
yeah,
it go. Everybody's got flaws. We love to have second chances, and that's great. But
yeah.
there's nothing better than a first take. Just be raw, be real.
I love it, man. I'm glad that we share that kind of thought on it. So, telling folks, I'd like for you to share. I know it's Bucket List Living. That's the name of your podcast, correct?
It is Bucket List Living with Brad Norwood.
I love that, and that ties in with what you do as well. And so I want you to kind of explain to folks what it is that you do, and then I've got some more questions about that. So,
Awesome. Yeah. So I own a company called Dream It Professional Events,
uh-huh.
and we're an incentive travel company. We help people and corporations. What I say, we help you move your middle 60% to the top 20%. And we
Mm,
do that through performance driven rewards based on experiences. So, like you see behind me, the Masters flag, I'm a big golfer. The Masters golf tournament's my bread and butter. I love to do that more than
yeah.
any other. But rewarding your people or your top customers, saying thank you and taking them to an experience. Going to Cabo San Lucas in Mexico, all inclusive beach resort, right?
Yeah.
Aruba, Jamaica, you name it. The Beach Boys wrote a song about it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, mama loves the beach. And when you can take that significant other along with you and they be rewarded for all the work that you do,
Yeah.
it creates what we call the culture of achievement.
Gotcha. The culture of achievement. So you help sales teams or any company kind of set up these packages to reward good results. Is that right?
That's right. And not only do we help with the trip, but we start at ground level and
Hmm.
help you design the actual incentive. What is it that you need to move through sales or even safety? Sometimes it's health. We have companies that go through health rewards. Hey, look, if you can lose this much weight or get your BMI index down to this number, we
Yeah,
know if you're healthy, you're going to work here longer,
that's
right?
right.
And plus, it's a way to really what these incentives are a way to show that you genuinely care about your employees. I tell people all the time, bonus checks are great. And I know we don't live in a world of the actual physical check anymore. It's all direct deposit. But I asked this question: when's the last time somebody posted a picture of their bonus check or direct deposit on social media?
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
see it. You don't ever see it. But when's
Yeah.
the last time you've seen pictures of people on vacation posting on social media? It's
Yeah.
all the time. It's all the time. And it's
Absolutely.
free marketing for companies when you reward, again, your employees, your top customers. They say, well, Daniel, how'd you get to Kiowa Island this weekend? I saw you were playing the ocean course.
Yeah.
Well, the company took me. I didn't pay for it. The company took me.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just a subliminal deal that you feel okay saying you didn't pay for it. Plus, you're proud to say that you earned it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: when you're looking for a company to work with, do you find that they generally have some type of incentive program in place and it's not working, or they don't have anything, or they've tried something and it didn't work out? What's kind of the, hey, I can help this situation type deal?
Sure. So my answer to that is yes. We've worked with companies that, in fact, we're working with one right now. They started a President's Club. That's kind of the most known name, most popular name for these type of trips is a President's Club. They just started one, and they're going to do a trip to Hawaii in November. We've worked with other companies that have had the programs for years, but they've always done it internally.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, they use an executive assistant. We see this a lot with companies that do it internally. They're using executive assistants. They'll use a VP of sales that'll be in charge of everything, but those people aren't trip planners. And so they start with all the money that they've made through the company, all these people increasing their sales and performance. They start to lose that money because now the last 6 weeks, really 6 months, they start focusing on that trip. Hey, Daniel, I heard we're going to Cabo. You're in charge of it. Do you know the hotel we're staying at? My wife really wants to know. It just becomes a time and energy suck out of the company because they're doing it internally without
Yes.
someone whose sole job is to do that trip. And so
Gotcha.
a lot of people say, well, gosh, it must be expensive to use your services.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do charge a service fee, but our price that we present to you up front, let's just throw out the number, an average of about $3,500 per person,
Yeah.
includes all the services that we do for you. So helping you start the program if you've never had one, helping find out, this is where bucket list living comes in, helping you find out what your people really want, right? Maybe they don't want to go to the beach. Maybe a group trip isn't for you, but rewarding each person individually with something they truly want and value
Yeah.
is a good fit for you. And so we help companies do that. And then, yes, of course, we help with all the hotels, the airfare, the on-site entertainment. We concierge every bit of it. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, do you get a lot of repeat customers?
We do. We do. You know, it's kind of the hamster wheel, right? I mean, once I tell people all the time, the problem with what I do is that it works.
Yeah.
So once you see that it works and the magic happens on that trip and you come home and everybody's like, well, where are we going next year? What goals do I need to hit now? I want to go again.
Yeah.
You're kind of on that hamster wheel, so to speak, and we just keep doing it. So yes, once you get on board with us, it's hard to leave. Now we do it so well that we teach you how to do it. And again, if you want to do it on your own,
Mm-hmm.
so be it. We're not for everybody,
Yeah.
but we're here to help because we're going to save you about 720 man hours planning and organizing this trip. So there's a lot of money involved in that 720 hours.
Absolutely. So now one of the things that comes to my mind when you are creating these experiences for other companies, and it's called bucket list living, you also start thinking more in experience in your own life. Am I right?
Right. Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
I've seen you post on LinkedIn, you and your son went out for a nice rafting trip. Now, where was it that you guys went?
We went to the Grand Canyon. We were 7 days on the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. We did 197 miles in 7 days.
Now that's an experience. I mean, that's something that I looked at and I said, man, that's something that I was jealous of. I said, me and my son, we need to go do something but that's a real experience.
It is. And it's, it's something that he'll never forget. It's something I'll never forget. It's something that we'll share. It's a bond that we created
Yeah.
that we'll share forever. I'll be dead honest with you. My wife was a little bit jealous of it
Yeah.
because, and my other two kids as well, because they didn't get to go, but it
Yeah.
was a thing just for me and Bryson. That's what
Right.
we said that we were going to do when he turned 13, and it was out of our comfort zone. But yeah, it was an experience. But I do that because my family lives this way. It's how we live. We're experiential people.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe we back exactly what I do for business every day. We believe in it. And so we live that way with it.
I love that. Now, so you've got Bryson, you said you've got two other kids.
I
Bryson's
do.
13. He's your oldest.
He's our oldest.
Yeah. And then you've got two more.
I got twins, Braxton and Blair. They're 9. They'll be 10 in October.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Got twins.
I got twins.
That was a big surprise, wasn't it?
It was a huge surprise. It was a huge surprise. I can't repeat on air what my first words were when I heard we were having two.
Yeah, because I don't like to edit, remember?
That's right.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, man. Now let's talk a little bit. When I think about, I know that you were a football official.
Yeah.
Officiated a lot of football games, and I just think so. You must be a sports guy. You like golf.
Big time sports guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how did you get into officiating? That just seems like the toughest thing in the world. I've got some friends that do basketball, but nobody that's done high school football before.
Yeah. So, it started for me when I was in high school. I got out of football in junior high. I was 125 pounds soaking wet in junior high, and I can't run out of sight in a week. So I decided real quick that football wasn't going to be for me. Yeah. But in high school, of course, I love the game. I love what it teaches you as a team, and I just love the game. I'm so competitive, Daniel, and football is just one of those team sports that's so competitive. Teach you great life lessons. Yes. And so in high school, because I didn't play, I still I was involved. I went to every game in high school. I traveled with our team on the road and at home. I was at every Friday night game. I just loved it. Yeah. But I realized it was, we had like a little Kiwanis and an Optimist football, Pee Wee football back at home, and they were always looking for officials. Mm-hmm. And I thought, man, it's an easy way to make some money. I love football. I know most of the rules. Yeah. And so I got started just doing Pee Wee football. Yeah. But when I came to college, I continued the same. My major was in recreational sports management and hospitality. And so I was involved with the Boys and Girls Club locally. And lo and behold, was working a Pee Wee football game, of course, through the season. But one night, one of the dads said, "Hey, you're pretty good at this. Have you ever wanted to do junior high and high school?" I said, "I would love to. I just don't know anybody up here. Don't really know how." And he said, "Well, I'm your guy." He said, he gave me his card and he said, "You need to call me." And of course, long story short, he knows one of my mentors. He knew him very well. My mentor was an official in the Southwestern Conference and then became the Southeastern Conference. So when he knew Mike, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I found my spot." And man, Pat took me right under his wing, and that was just a couple of weeks later. I was on the junior high football field, and 17 years I dedicated every Thursday and Friday night of my life for 17 years to a game that I love. It was great.
That's awesome. Now let me ask you. You said what makes a good official?
The ability to think quickly. It really is the best, and to be able to stay calm no matter what situation's going on. If you can control your emotions and think quickly, you have a chance to be a very good official. But I'll always tell you this: you can be as bad of an official as there is, but if you're in great position, if you're always in good position, you'll never be the worst official there is. You got to be in good position. If you can be in good position, you can be average, but you'll always look good, and they'll believe in you because you hustle and you're in the right spot.
I like that. Now, when you watch other football games now and you see a bad call or an official out of position, you probably pick up on that, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I've never been able to watch a football game like anybody else. If officials whether you officiate, and I've done basketball too, whether you officiate volleyball, basketball, football, you name it, you just watch that sport differently. You watch it, and I watch every game. I'm a big Arkansas Razorback fan, and I watch every game as an official as well. And of course, my phone will blow up. Oh, what do you think about this call? And I've always got the back of the guys in the stripes. I mean, people
Yeah.
don't realize what they go through, the training they go through. And there's not many people in bad position anymore, Daniel. These guys are all in such good physical shape. But the game is so fast. It's so fast. It's hard to do. I admire their work.
Gosh, talking about fast, I mean, just the difference in the speed, just as you watch them go and grow through the different levels of ball. You watch them in high school, it looks like they're taking a deep breath after they take the snap. You can't do that in the NFL, man.
No, you can't. And it's, that's a whole nother gear. The NFL, I've only been on the sidelines once for an NFL game, and I can't imagine even officiating a game at the NFL speed. I mean, these guys are bigger, faster, stronger every single day.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about the little documentary on Johnny Manziel. I was watching him in high school, which I hate his story. I wish it ended better. Sure. But man, he was so calm and poised, and seemed like he had forever, and just backyard football in high school, and then continue that. Was able to still make some things happen in college, but then he wasn't able to pull it off there in the pros.
Yeah, it caught up to him. Everybody. They tell you everybody in college is as good as you are. You were the stud at high school and you could dominate.
Yeah.
But, you're the only one from your whole town, maybe even your whole state in some states, right? You're the only one that got D1. Now you're here with everybody from Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, California, you name it, Pennsylvania, where all the big kids come from. You're on the same level again. And then to go to the NFL, oh my goodness, you're the only one out of the whole university drafted.
That's right. That's right. There's always a bigger pond, isn't there?
That's right.
In whatever we're doing. But I wanted to ask you too, you never punt. You actually gifted me with a t-shirt, and I really appreciated that. That meant a lot to me. Just to get something in the mail and someone to have noticed what I've tried to do on LinkedIn. And so that meant a lot. But now I want you to talk about what never punt means, because I've definitely punted sometimes in my life. And that was the one post you said, hey, never punt. But I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, it's a bucket list living philosophy, never punt, right? But It comes from my officiating background, quite frankly.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine, now I can get to say this. Listen here, Daniel, former high school coach, Kevin Kelly. He's the former high school coach at Pulaski Academy in Little Rock, Arkansas. He's now the head college football coach at Presbyterian right there in South Carolina, right close to you.
Yeah.
He finally got the college gig. I'm so proud of him. But the story on him is Coach Kelly is statistical. In fact, I've got a podcast episode where we recorded with him, but he knows the numbers better than anybody. And he knows the numbers because he's the only one willing to put in the work on the numbers. He believes in them. It's a system that basically he created, and he does it because he knows it works.
Yeah.
Well, he is known for, quote, never punting. Now, they do punt, but it's very, very rare.
Yeah.
Because the numbers show that you're just as likely to convert first down off of fourth down as you are on second and third. And he's got all these numbers. If you don't give up a sack or you don't give up a penalty on first down, he's like 80% that you can convert and get another first down.
Yeah.
And then after he scores, he onside kicks every time. Well, let's put that in football fan nutshell, right? Get out of coach's terms for a minute. It's because the most important thing you can have is the football. Mm-hmm. You can't score if you don't have the football. And that's kind of what it boils down to. And so I've taken that and implemented his football philosophy into bucket list living.
Okay.
And that we want to play offense. We got to play. Now, I know I'm a football fan. Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
Coach Kelly will tell you if we score more points, and their defense can't stop us, we're going to win championships. And he's got a handful of rings, 5 of them, that he can show you.
Yeah.
They win championships. And so I take that philosophy into life and say, look, let's control the football. Let's go win the game today. We can't win a championship today, but we can go win the game today. What is it that I have to be intentional about today that's going to help me win the day? That at the end of the season might lead to a championship once I start stacking them all together. Salespeople like to call them KPIs, right? But let's dig deep in our lives too. What do I have to do at home and at work to win the game?
Yeah.
And if I don't punt, if I never punt, if I'm in control of the offense and keep winning games, then a championship's going to come. And so that's where, hey, never punt. And I get it. Yeah, sometimes, pandemic, everybody loved the word pivot and whatever else we came up with. And I get it. Sometimes you have to change directions, but really encourage yourself. Keep control of the ball, right? And never punt.
I love it, man. That's good stuff. So let's think about this. I guess as we're closing up here, when you think about Brad moving forward, I know you're building a new house.
Yeah.
You've got this business that you're working on and prospecting, and you're doing things on LinkedIn. You got your podcast. Where do we see the next 5 years going for Brad? What's the vision?
So the vision is to finally, I'm building a house, like you mentioned, and in that house, I posted about this last week. I'm actually going to have an office. See, if I could turn this camera around for you right now, I'm sitting in my kitchen. my kitchen table is my office here today. I mean, here's my notepad. I got all my stuff going. I've got a contract here for a golf group. I mean, I'm just spread out across the kitchen table. But I'm so excited that I'm finally going to have, even though I still work in home, I'm going to have my first ever office truly dedicated to my space.
Yeah,
that's a 1 to 2 year goal, actually, to have that. Within the 5 years you asked, the vision is that we finally have a building and I finally have other employees that we can really scale the business and be able, where I can be more of the face and the connector of the company and have people selling behind the scenes for me. That's our 5 year vision. Right now, I'm the do everything. I mean, look, I got kitchen table. I got bills to pay. I got you name it, man. I got to do it all. But it's fun too. It's what I live for. I'm an entrepreneur. New ideas. I love sharing ideas with people. I love digging in, getting into the nitty gritty on stuff. But yeah, in 5 years, we want to be, I would love to do millions and millions of dollars of business, but it's not all about the dollars for me. In fact, our goal this year is to help 500 people experience a bucket list experience, whether it's on their own or through a corporate incentive program. And so to get those 500 people through the end of the year, that's what we're trying to do now. But I would love to, in a year, maybe be able to, in 5 years, be able to help 2,000 people a year, right?
Yeah.
And have an office that has maybe a call center or you name it, and selling behind the scenes. That's what our 5 year vision is.
I like it, Brad, and I think a lot of your experience and just who you are as a person, I think you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I think that if you have a sales team, that you can incorporate a lot of your competitiveness and your desire to help people have experiences, some of the things that you're selling to other companies now, and put that in your own organization. I do see dollar signs.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We're excited about it. If I have to toot my own horn, I'm great with people. And so I can't wait. I'm so used to training other teams and helping them go. And it's intrinsically so rewarding for me. I can't wait to help do that with my own people, right? Push my own people, have a team to love on, and be able to go celebrate wins with them too.
I love it, man. And I can see it happening. It's going to happen real soon. I'm glad we got to do this. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you joining me today, Brad.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. But I want to flip the script on you give yourself 2 minutes. I want Daniel Allison to talk about the average dude.
Wow. One of the things I thought about doing, I said, maybe Daniel Allison should interview the average dude. I'd have to keep flipping the camera. But, the average dude is just a way for me to kind of reminder that there are big ponds out there, and to never to always be growing, I think, Brad, is what the average dude, kind of that label, and why I went with it. And it was just a spur of the moment decision before I did my first podcast. I'm like, what am I going to tell about people? I'm going to tell people I'm the average dude because I am, you know. Now something that I have talked about, in videos before is just, hey, at the end of the day, the Navy SEAL that makes it is the one that doesn't ring the bell, right? And sometimes it's not the fastest or the smartest. It's just someone that wants it so doggone bad that they are not going to give up. They're not going to quit. Maybe it's never punt, but whatever that is that's inside of us sometimes that, maybe it's something that we've got an ability to connect with people. These are not measurable. These are things that we can't measure. And really, and what is success? I asked my grandma what was success, and she said, well, I'm 93 years old. So maybe if you just live a long time, you'll be okay,
That's right.
So to be honest with you, it's like this big umbrella. The average dude is like this big umbrella. It's actually taught me a lot about myself, and I'm kind of learning through that, if you will. And some of the things that I journal about and think about a lot are, I try to watch myself. When am I getting away? Because sometimes we can get caught up a little bit. And we need to be humbled in certain ways,
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a way to kind of keep myself balanced, we'll say.
I love it. I thank you for sharing that, because as I've told you a million times, I get that it's an umbrella term, but you're far above average, my man. You're far above average.
Well, you are as well, and I appreciate you coming on, and I hope to talk to you and interact with you soon. I know I will.
All right, brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend. See you.